Guys, thanks for tuning to this channel once again. Reality Gist with Modupe, a platform to talk about lifestyle. And on today's episode of Reality Gist, we'll be discussing speaking up and taming tongue. Like speaking up, taming tongue. It took me a quite period of time to develop this voice. Now I am ready to use it. I'll make sure I speak up every time. That's true, my dear. I know it took you a long period of time to realize that you have a voice. But in you realizing that you have a voice, you want to speak up. You want to say anything about everything. Have you taken your time to realize that taming of tongue is as well important as speaking up? I think that is where we are missing it in this time and era. I know we cannot just wake up one day, like wake up every day and not talk to anybody, not saying anything. That's not possible. You have to relate with people around you. But taming of tongue, it is very, very, very important. Now, for us to know that taming of tongue is very, very important, the scriptures also back it up. We cannot exhaust the scriptures when it talks about the tongue. The book of James talks about it. The book of Proverbs talks about it. The book of Proverbs says the words of mouth of men are as deep as the waters. Like deep as the water. You know how water, like how deep they are. Now for us to compare the words of our mouth to that should send a message to us that we need to be careful. You can't just decide that now that you have gotten the voice, the whole wide world must know that, okay, she's saying something or he's saying something, when you don't even like caution yourself. And one funny thing about words, or when we talk or when we say something, is if we make mistakes, even though when we come out and we say we are sorry or we apologize to the public that, oh, it is a mistake or something, this is Africa, my dear, where people like add to words. Even you yourself, you might not even mean it that way, but the cultural stuff, like people want to add to whatever it is you have said. The taming of tongue is very, very important. We go out every day, we see how people do things and want to react. Now, if we live in the consciousness of we taming our tongue, I feel and I know that our society will be a better place for us to live in. Also in the book of James, when the Bible talks about the tongue as a fire. Now, it is in two different ways here. Is that the fire actually like bring a good result or destroy? Now the question out there for us today is, what are you using your fire to do? We are in an era of social media where things happen. You go online, you say different things, you say this, you say that, when you're not even thinking, like, this message I'm passing across, am I really speaking up? Am I really taming my tongue? Am I really saying the right thing? Like, people are affected. We really need to be careful with what we say, because our words are very, very strong. They can make people, they can destroy people. And I continue to ask myself questions that, how do we get here? In the sense that, are people out there waiting for like us, we, to make mistakes? In the sense that you do something now, just go to the social media online, you will see a video of like 5 years ago or 6 years ago. Are they keeping those videos? Like, they upload that video, you have actually probably made that same mistake or do something like that before. It gets to a point to ask myself, like, why are we doing this to ourselves? And that shows that it is very, very important to caution ourselves, to tame our tongue. Because even though, like I said earlier, the person might come and actually say, okay, he wants to apologize, she wants to apologize to the general public that, okay, this is not like this, that is not like that. But no, you might think people don't care about what you say. They might not be responding to it now, but later, just calm down, just calm down, watch out. They would say something about it. You might just feel, okay, it is social media. Like I said, we're in the social media era. A lot of things is going around, different videos, different this, different that. Oh, you want to also do like that too. Then you go online, you say different things. Like okay, yes, you have said the right thing. I'm not here to condemn anybody, but we just have to live right. We just have to do things rightly. And the scriptures is also backing it up for us to tame our tongue. Because I feel if we can do that, our society will be a better place for us to live in. Most of the time, because of what people say, and they don't know, probably it will get back to them after so many years. They feel depressed. And they're like, when did I say these things? Sometimes if people see videos on social media, they'll be like, did I? When did I? That's how funny the world we find ourselves is. You might think nobody's listening to you, nobody is watching you, nobody cares about what you say. But my dear, the truth is they care. In fact, most people are writing it down. They're just waiting for you to make one more mistake and like, it is out. So, taming tongue, speaking up, it can actually go together. I know you have to make that right move of standing up to speak up to some things that is happening around us. But in your speaking up to that particular subject matter, you need to also learn how to tame your tongue, how to control your words, like choosing your word rightly. I think that's where we find it difficult to communicate with people, when we cannot choose our words rightly. You just want to talk anyhow. You cannot talk to people anyhow. People are going through a lot of things now, and we cannot add to people's problem. You cannot add to their problem just because you feel you have the voice now, then you can talk to anybody. No, that's not right. We have to make it a practice now. You have gotten that voice, right? Yes. You also need to learn on how to make it right. Choose your word rightly. How to control your speech. How to tame your tongue. The two goes together, because this happens like in our daily life. People who want to do something that are really, really crazy. They'll be like, oh, is this person really like a human being? Yes, they are human being. But since you know your focus, that you want to set the right standard and the right legacy, then reacting to some situation or reacting to some things, you really need to take a pause that, okay, you want to say this thing. What will be the end result of this thing? What if I say it and the person did not get my own meaning of saying it? What is the society saying about it? What are your thoughts about all those words? So if you ask ourselves different questions before speaking up, like you're all over the place and you're talking like fluently, big grammar, all those things. Hey, my dear, you need to calm down. All those big grammar, all those big English, all those words. Remember, people are watching. And if we say we want to continue like this, we want to continue our life like this, even the person we are actually following his footsteps, our Lord Jesus Christ, when he was on earth, he lived a life worthy of emulation, that we are happy, like we can even talk about it today. So he has laid that example for us to, like, he has given other templates for us to follow. And how are we yielding to that? What he has called us to do, how are we following it? Are we saying, well, let me just say it now, probably it can change later, or well, I can come out and say I didn't mean it that way, or it was not like that. Yes, you can come out and say you didn't mean it that way, it was not like that. But people are looking up to you. And is that how you are preaching Christ? Yes. You not taming your tongue, you not controlling your tongue. Like the whole part of the body, like the part of the body. The tongue is very, very, very important because, like I said, every day we say something out. Every day people want to see, you have to hand it over to the Holy Spirit, because it is not easy. People want to, like, is this person okay? People will do something that will make you want to utter some statements. But when you live in the consciousness that, oh, I'm not supposed to say this thing, though we embrace what is not normal in our time now, in our generation now, but we are called to be different. We are called to set the right standard and the right legacy. So don't say, for you to speak up, taming of tongue is not necessary, or it cannot work out, or you feel the two cannot go together. That's a big lie from the pit of hell. You can speak up and as well tame your tongue. You can address people. You can pass the positive message to people. You can speak well to people. People can embrace you. Even when you tame your tongue, everything is not about shouting or saying some negative words for people to get your message or to understand you. You can be calm. You can live that Christ life, and people will still get your message. The scriptures also says the power of life and death lies in the tongue. Hey, that two words, life and death. Are we getting message from there? Like life and death. So that means with this, like with the words we say, we can actually kill people. It's not until when you hold gun or when you do some crazy stuff, that's when you kill people. And the question is, what are you saying about others? Just because they are not there, just because you feel you have to be everywhere, people, like other people are not important, then you have to say some things about them. Your tongue, your mouth, those words are coming out of it. And you're like, when you're done with that conversation, be like, oh, the person is not there. Plus, nobody saw me. Hey, that means you have used that mouth to destroy somebody else's life, and you are happy about it. We cannot exhaust the scriptures, like I said earlier. It is there for us to guide our lives, to live a better life. That is why those scriptures are there. Life and death. Instead of you killing people with your mouth, with the words of your mouth, you can use those words. You can use that mouth, like saying the right words, praying for people, interceding for people, saying good things about people. Life and death lies in the tongue. Like that words, they are very, very powerful. Life and death. So today, choose life or death. How are you using that mouth? How are you using that tongue? Speaking up and taming tongue. You cannot leave one for one. They go together. If we must continue to make impact in life, then we must also continue to tame our tongue. They are very, very important. Remember, death and life lies in the tongue. Thank you very much for listening, and do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Most importantly, click on that notification bell and the subscription button for you to get notified when we release more content. Until I call your way next time, always remember to be happy. Bye.